V, I wanted to ask you, are you currently aware right now that if a citizen of America tries to ship out their personal metals, they can't already? Are you aware of that? Like,
Uh,
like I want to send two monster boxes of, one silver and one gold to my aunt, Joni over in Montreal, where I'm from. You can't exit the country with it without a TIN number stating that you're a metal house.
uh, in some states, like I think it's Montana or Minnesota, they're doing something like that. There's ways to get around it. I mean, again, like with the logistics company that I deal with, we're one of the largest logistics companies on the planet. I mean, we've been around for over 50 years, and we handle 75% of the world's diamonds. Gives you a scale of who we are. But in terms of that, I mean, I have had clients who are, let's say, in California or New York, they want to have their gold or silver shipped to Uruguay. We pick it up directly from their house and drop it off because it's a different system. Now, if you were to go ahead and do that where you bring it on your own person via aircraft or you try to do it through FedEx or whatnot, yeah, you could run into problems. But using a logistics provider, that specializes in handling precious metals, you won't have any issues.
Well, right, because they're actually having a TIN number and they're a metal
Yeah,
distributor, exactly.
bingo.
But the
And the
private
transportation
person
costs.
is running into a dead end right
Oh
now.
yeah, yeah. It's the private person screwed. This is why you cannot operate in the United States without a corporation. I mean, this country respects no laws anymore. The only laws it respects is corporate law. Hence, in 2000, I think in 2009 or 2010, the Supreme Court ruled that corporations have more rights than people.
Well, hence the Straw Man Act,
Yeah.
but that's for another day. But exactly. The other thing, you're still aware that your maples and your eagles and whatever your Australian, any coin that's still a usable currency is still, for the time being, traveling at face value of the coin. Like a silver eagle travels at $1. It doesn't travel, so that makes owning that type of silver or gold much more transportable for the average person.
Yep. Exactly.
Hey V, following the recent Brexit, Le Pen vows to hold a French referendum to leave the EU titled the Frexit. Joining France are five other countries vowing to hold their own referendums for leaving the EU. Holland is running around at 10% approval rating. Merkel's CDU came in third place in her home state. Things are moving fast towards Europe breaking apart. Personally, I felt this had to be the end result for decades. The euro was a bad idea from its concept. Where do you see this heading, and what effect will this play on Western nations?
Well, yeah, the whole entire EU is fracturing. The kleptocrats that run the EU out of the Tower of Stupidity, which is in Belgium, um, in Brussels. These guys are clueless. Their solution to the failure of the EU is more and more controls, more and more regulations, more. No one's going for that. And I'm telling you, Merkel's done. She's finished. Moti Merkel, she is done. And when she gets yanked out of there and thrown out of office, which will be soon enough, and you're going to have a nationalistic candidate in Germany as well as Marine Le Pen. She will take over France. It's a nationalistic candidate. Because the globalists for many decades, Barry, they've been running again their globalization effort, right? Being a globalist and an internationalist and blah blah blah. Well, these idiots don't realize for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's why you're seeing globally the rise of nationalism. Nationalism is on the rise in France. It's on the rise in Germany. It's on the rise in Austria. It's on the rise in Hungary. It's on the rise in the UK. It's on the rise in Spain, in the U.S., and heck, even in Canada. So these things are happening, and once the exit of France goes, and I'm telling you, Germany's going to go first, and Germany holds 90% of French debt. So when Germany goes, France will go along with them, and that's the end of the EU. You're going to have probably a new currency union that's going to be erupting over there, which will possibly be the northern European countries, creating their own trade zone and integrating into the Eurasian trade zone, the New Silk Road, the whole nine yards. That's where the whole entire thing is going. The U.S. is the most resistant force to that. That's why they're using their puppets in NATO and whatnot to forestall the whole entire transition.
Well, Germany is the EU, basically.
Oh, it is the biggest engine there. So once she goes, it's done. You're just gonna have a bunch of nutless wonders in Brussels, having meetings where nobody's going to attend. It's going to be talking about what they're going to be doing, and it's pointless. I mean, have you seen that guy Von Rumpi?
Yeah.
Look at that guy. He looks like a goblin.
The funny thing is, even Brzezinski, came out last week about saying our plans basically aren't going to. The thing people are missing, though, but the thing is, people have always took it as gospel that United States was meant to be the leading nation. No, it's meant one world government and one world currency. Nor is it written that America was supposed to be the go-to source to enable it all. And they don't care. I mean, as far as I'm saying, I wrote an article. Brzezinski just altered course a bit. Yeah, he can believe what he wants, and he's still a paid puppet. But the point is, they don't care where, long as they get their one world government and their one world currency. They don't care where it comes from, and that's the big mistake he's making. His plan might not be working, granted, but that doesn't mean they don't control all the plans at this point.
The thing with Brzezinski, and I saw that article where he's talking about his chessboard has failed. What Brzezinski didn't realize is when he wrote that stupid book, the Grand Chessboard.
Yeah.
Again, he's a globalist, technocratic wonk. And when he wrote that book in '97, and when I read it, he was talking about all the how important Ukraine is to the capturing of the Eurasian trade of Eurasia, because control of Eurasia is basically control of Africa. That there's a connection there that most people don't realize. He's failed. And in the grand chessboard, what happened is that you had a guy named Vladimir Putin step into the stage and come down and absolutely took his chessboard and shoved it down, or actually shoved it up Brzezinski's rear end. That's what happened to Brzezinski's grand chessboard. It's somewhere in his large colon, alongside a bunch of his other ideas.
I hope it was
globalists. The whole thing that these globals have been working on for damn near over 100 years is just this fantasy called world government and world religion and world currency. That crap doesn't work. And what's happening is that these morons, these sycophants, these are idiots, inbred idiots. Okay, what they don't realize and what they underestimated gravely is the power of human culture, human traditions, tribalism, which is the epitome of that. Of all those things, those genetic drivers that make us so unique and make us have a tribal mentality, the unique result, the apex expression of that is nationalism. And that's what's blowing up in front of their faces. Nationalism, sovereignty, this is what's erupting. So the question to the New World Order is, what are you guys going to do now? What's your next move? Because when you look at them and their next move, you're looking at a bunch of guys who are a bunch of mealy-mouthed little weaklings. Okay, so what's making up the patriot movement, what's making up the freedom movement, is and these guys might push us to the cliff. These guys might try to pull off a war and get as many people killed as possible, but the cat's out of the bag at this point. Well, cat's out of the bag. I mean, look, Rockefeller he doesn't live too far from me.
The cat's out of the bag, but basically from birth, human beings have four fears. They're primordial fears: darkness, predators, abandonment, and chaos. Right. And they're really, to this point of our conversation, still using 3 out of 4 of those very effectively. And divide and conquer is a strong weapon. I mean, it's always going to resort back to we the people are going to make the changes. And there's no question about that, but I think we're all trying to answer, how dark is it going to get first?
It's always darkest before the dawn.
Yeah. I got one more question.
Sure.
And I want you, V, bullet point your recommendations as to what people should be doing right now to best protect themselves, their families, and their assets.
Absolutely, and without giving any financial advice, what I tell people to do is it's number one, get the heck out of paper. Okay, if you're a good trader, I have friends of mine who are still trading in the market. It's not an investable market, but hell, man, it's a tradable market. If you're good at trading, you know how to trade, go forth and trade, make a killing, make some money. Okay, and then take that money, put it into hard assets, put it into your preps, so you're better situated and leveraged to deal with what is going to happen. So once you do that, you want it to absolutely be in physical metals. You want to have food storage. You want to have good, potable water. Those things are very vital, very important. If you have if you have those things taken care of, and if you're of the means where you can get the heck out of the country, get the heck out of the country. Leave. Get a secondary location set up. If nothing happens, or if it doesn't be as bad as some people say it is, the fear porn guys make this like 10 times worse than it actually will be. It's a transition. It's not the end of the world. It's a friggin' transition. Let's go through it, come out of it, and rebuild on the other side. Now, those of you who are able to get out, you have a secondary location. Go to that secondary location, hang out, let the dust settle, let the winds blow through, and then come back and pick up the pieces, see what you can leverage off of. Because there's going to be, even though with this great collapse that's coming, we're going to see the greatest creation of wealth that's going to be created out of it.
I totally agree.
I tell my clients this all the time. The greatest transfer of wealth is about to take place. Do you want to get paid?
That's basically it, because depressions don't kill wealth, they only transfer it.
Bingo.
And the thing is, I think the greatest surprise to a lot of Westerners who seek a second location, judging by the quality of life and the peacefulness of it in many other countries, I don't think they're going to be returning too quick once the dust does settle.
No. There's a lot of people that have expatriated themselves. They're not coming back. They love where they are.
V, it was great chatting together, and for all of our viewers, mention the best way they can stay in the loop, and if interested, the best way to reach out and get connected with you.
Sure, absolutely. The best way to keep tabs on me is going to be the website Rogue Money. That's ROGUEMONEY, roguemoney.net. You can follow me on YouTube at the Rogue Money. And also the Rogue Money YouTube channel. That's ROGUE space MONEY. Just put that into the search bar. You'll see this icon of this screaming red gorilla. That is me. That is exactly what I look like. So click and subscribe to that, and stay abreast with everything that's going on. I mean, it's pretty exciting. Like every Wednesday, I do a program with me and my buddy Bix Weir. It's called Hump Days with Bix and V. It's very fun. It's very lighthearted. It's a great show. Friday nights is a radio show where I get on there and we cover the litany of different topics. Every morning I try to do a Mornings with V. We give you a rundown of the news for the day. And starting Monday, it's going to be the Trading Terror Dome. It's going to be with me and my buddy Dex, the Vulcan. Dex is basically a trader from Wall Street. This guy's a serious badass when it comes to trading. So you can learn how to trade. I've given this story to people. There was a woman who went to a terrible, messy divorce, had no money, had, kids that she needed to take care of. What did she do? Rather than working at the perfume aisle in Macy's, she learned how to trade. She made a killing. I'm not saying that everybody's going to be a millionaire, and granted she wasn't, but she made enough money to cover her rent, her expenses, where she doesn't have to worry. So anytime she would run into a jam, she'd start trading. So learn how to trade. It can be a valuable tool. So Dex will teach you how to do that. Again, it's not an investable market, but it's a tradable market. Be friggin' pragmatic. Don't get married to one idea. Learn, and always keep educating yourself. Learn how to leverage and exploit situations to your advantage. That's the best advice I can give everybody.
You know something, V? You just hit the nail on the head, my new friend, because when people ask me what's the number one importance of any plan B, flexibility on the run.
Yep. Absolutely.
That is, because it's not the strongest that survive, it's the ones who adapt to change the best.
Bingo.
V, I really know you're busy, and I can't thank you enough for taking a little bit of time to talk with us today.
Definitely, Barry. It's a pleasure. I thank you for allowing me to be on with your program. Heck, man, I off the air, I'd love to learn more about DR.
Sounds great. We'll keep in touch, okay? And put a word out to your buddy Bix, and I'll stay in touch, and let's do this again sometime.
Will do. Thank you, my friend.
Take care of yourself, bud.
Bye-bye.
Bye.